I wake up to the hush of early morning. Rays of gray light filter through cracked blinds, dust motes drifting like tiny ghosts across the ceiling. My alarm radio sputters to life with some distant news, but it feels far away, muffled by the weight in my chest. I swipe at the remote. Silence returns. An unease settles in my chest as I slide my feet onto the cold floor. My phone buzzes on the nightstand as I pour the coffee, but I'm not sure if I should check it. 2 missed calls, the screen says, both from my sister. I swallow the urge to dial back. I tell myself it's okay, but the pit in my stomach says otherwise. I wander into the bathroom and flip on the shower. Steam fogs the mirror. I stand under warm water that turns cool, the way happiness used to, evaporating until all I feel is numb. My reflection swims in the glass, dark circles around tired eyes. A face I barely recognize. The pale woman looking back at me stirs and fades, and in that half-lit haze, I almost see something else. A tall shadow pressing closer, peering over my shoulder. I spin around, but the tile wall is empty. Lingering in my robe, I shuffle into the kitchen. The coffee is stale in the pot, old grounds clinging to the filter. I scrape them out, but not before the scent chokes me a little. My favorite mug sits chipped in the cupboard. I cradle it in my palms as I pour in the last dregs of creamer. It spirals and disappears, just like hope. A slight movement in the corner of my eye, and there it is again. Something soft and dark leans against the counter. It's a shadow, too thick to be mine alone. I blink, but it remains. A silent guest in this lonely light. My hand trembles as I lift the mug to my lips, only to find it empty. My phone buzzes again, but I ignore it as a phone call from work comes in. With a guilty breath, I decline it and take a step back as the phone's screen goes dark. As the elevator doors slide open onto the office floor, I pass by familiar faces with downcast eyes. A colleague smiles at me, an effort, I know, but I offer only a ghost of a smile back. My desk is piled with yesterday's work and an unread mug of cold tea. I sit heavily in my chair, staring at the blinking cursor on the screen. Emails scroll by, each subject line a dull echo. My phone buzzes. It's a text from a friend asking if I'm coming out tonight. I stare at the screen, an unfamiliar dread tightening my throat, and then delete it without a word. The paper in my hand trembles. The day bleeds on, and I move through tasks mechanically. My fingers type motions I don't feel. Search the inbox for anything to do. Outside, sunlight shifts through the blinds. I feel the weight of time pressing on me, slow and suffocating. Lunch arrives in silence. I stare at my sandwich untouched on the break table. The cafeteria chatter feels distant, as if underwater. A chill crawls along my spine. Over the stale hum of the fluorescent lights, I hear the space between words fill up. Beside me, an empty seat warms as if someone slid in. I can almost feel it breathe. My fingers tighten on the paper napkin. I glance up, Nothing. I twist to look around. Everyone's eyes are down or on their plates. The ghost is alone with me. I reach out to my phone again and pull up my messages. There's one from my mom. Are you okay? Miss you. I blink and find it already erased, like the thoughts it contained. Later, outside, the walk home under an autumn sky feels endless. Leaves skitter across the sidewalk behind me, but when I turn, no one is there. Each street lamp flickers awake as twilight stretches the shadows. My reflection in shop windows blurs, and I see that same shape in the corner of my eye, always a step or two behind. At a crosswalk, I watch families and couples laughing on the other side of the street. They seem to belong to another world, one I used to know. I want to step into the light with them, but my feet don't move. A neighbor offers me a polite smile from across the driveway, but I step back. I don't remember her name. I swallow the lump in my throat and hurry inside. I close the door and lean against it, my breath catching. The effort of that small interaction leaves me trembling. Once inside, I wipe my sweaty palms on my jeans. Outside, distant laughter trickles in from the street. People living their lives while mine feels paused. I draw my knees up to my chest, trying to measure how much time has passed since I felt truly okay. In my bedroom, I change into pajamas. I look in the mirror. Too large, its frame crooked on the wall. The face staring back looks weary, eyes red-rimmed. I trace a trembling finger over the glass. My breath fogs the surface. For a moment, I write on it with my fingertip. Help. But the letters smear and nothing changes. Behind my reflection, I think I see a second silhouette fold itself over the sheets. It doesn't smile. Dreams do not come easily these nights. The old clock ticks louder in the silence, each second an echo in my ears. My thin quilt is bunched around me like curtains. I feel pinned. Shadows lick at the edges of the ceiling. As I drift in and out of fit flap, nightmares come in fragments. Nights blend dream and waking. I imagine hands closing over my own in sudden darkness, a cruel echo of warmth. When I wake from those dreams, the room is still empty, yet I feel heavy footprints on the carpet. One night I dream of falling, over and over again, through a tunnel of whispers, until I awake, sweat on my forehead, my heart thrashing in my chest. I stand in the dark, hand on the closet door, waiting for something that isn't there. My apartment feels smaller with each passing day. I no longer mark mornings by breakfast. I forget to eat. TV shows run back to back at odd hours, but I cannot concentrate on them either. People in the building have grown used to seeing me in a daze. In the hallway, someone calls out, "Hey, you okay?" I don't hear it. In the cafeteria at work, someone shares a joke, and I sit through their laughter without moving. At the bus stop, the same faces wait every morning, but I do not see them. My eyes are empty. Sometimes I meet my own gaze in shop windows on the street. A stranger looks back, pale, lifeless, haunted by lines no makeup can hide. I blink, and the reflection vanishes, only the cracked glass remaining. The world outside moves forward, but I'm stopped in the same place. My coffee cup cools on the desk. Mail piles up unopened. Dinners go cold on the stove. On the kitchen floor, I slide down and cry in the silence. I slide onto the floor by the bathroom, sobs shaking me. Pills stare from the cabinet. A thought as black as tar emerges. Just one more pill. One more swallow. My hand grips a pill bottle, the line between hope and the end. I empty it onto the floor. The counter is slick under the kitchen light. Everything tastes of bleach and despair. The mirror above the sink reflects me kneeling, broken, with a handful of pills scattered at my feet. And standing behind that reflection is it, the ever-present silhouette, smiling with empty eyes. For a moment, I consider calling a helpline. I dig my phone out of my pocket and punch in numbers with shaking fingers. But as the line rings, I feel a wave of shame. I press end and toss the phone aside. The silence that follows is just me, lying on the cold floor. In that silence, my scream starts in my chest but goes nowhere. The emptiness in the room swallows it whole. I am so tired. I sob into my hands, voice echoing off the empty walls. For the longest time, the only sound is my own breathing. I fold there, trying to disappear into the tiles. Some nights I sit in the dark with my phone in hand, breathing in patterns. I have the number of a crisis line memorized from a leaflet. Tonight, my fingers finally dial. The line rings, but the words catch in my throat. When no one answers, I feel more alone than ever. I hang up and set the phone aside, silence heavy in the air. One afternoon, on a wisp of courage, I step outside. The sun is low and weak, but warm on my skin. I stand still and take a breath. Despite everything, I need to know the air is still there for me. A leaf drifts by on the breeze, and for a moment I close my eyes. When I open them, I notice a neighbor watching me. We share a polite smile, but I look away and hurry inside. My apartment door closes behind me, and I lean against it, breathing hard. The effort of that small interaction has drained me. I wipe sweat from my brow and trail my fingers along the doorframe, grounding myself. Days turn into nights. Outside, the city lights blink on one by one, but I switch off every light in my apartment except a lone lamp. In the quiet, I am painfully aware of all the noise I imagine around me. The latch of the closet clicking seems too deliberate. The faucet dripping too rhythmic. The shadows seem to move just at the edge of my vision. My phone buzzes. It's my sister calling, the same one who left me those messages. I stare at it, stunned. My thumb hovers. I haven't spoken to her in weeks, Finally, I answer. "Hey," I whisper. "Hey," she says softly. "I've been calling." "Where have you been?" Her voice is warm, familiar. It makes tears spring to my eyes. When I don't respond, she simply says, "I'm coming over." Minutes later, there's a knock at my door. I hesitate, then open it. She steps inside and wraps me in her arms. Her embrace is warm and solid, reminding me what comfort feels like. For the first time, I feel a little real. We stay there for a moment, wrapped up in each other. In the pale light, I cry softly into her shoulder. After what feels like forever, she gently pulls back and searches my eyes. Her voice is a whisper in my hair, but I hear it clearly. "You're not alone." "Thank you," I whisper. She squeezes my hand and asks, "Do you want some tea?" I nod, unable to speak. We walk to the kitchen together. Even small tasks feel less daunting now. We share a cup of tea at dawn. She doesn't press me for words. She just sits quietly with me. Outside, the sun slowly rises, casting pale light through the curtains. Despite the stain of fear that still clings to the edges of the morning, a faint warmth begins to spread through my chest. For the first time in a long time, it feels like I can survive this new day. She finally speaks. "You know I love you, right?" My voice cracks as I whisper back, "I know." Together we watch the sun rise in silence, each minute making the darkness behind me a little less daunting. Morning light wraps around us. I pull my sister into another tight hug, feeling alive and grounded. I breathe in deeply, tasting the warmth of tea and hope. The darkness of yesterday still lingers in corners, but it has lost its grip on me for now. In that quiet moment, I remember what it felt like to breathe without panic, to smile without pain. Those memories feel distant, but they shine through the gloom, faint as stars at dawn. I realize that I'm not the same person I was months ago, but maybe that person is still somewhere inside me, waking up. My scars are still there, but maybe tomorrow I can learn to live with them. One step at a time, just for today, I whisper to myself. Maybe tomorrow won't be easy, but I know I don't have to face it alone. I'm still afraid, but I am not alone. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like maybe, just maybe, I will be okay. Depression is a real and serious illness, but it is not the end of the story. You are not alone. There is help available and people who care about you. It can be hard to reach out, but support and understanding are out there. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, please remember, there are caring professionals and volunteers ready to listen. You deserve help, and the pain can be eased with time, treatment, and the support of others. Like, comment, subscribe, and rest well. You've been listening to Lilith Sanctum. Until next time.